I've uploaded quite a few videos pertaining to my latest interaction with Plymouth Police, but I really haven't uploaded a narrative as to what exactly sparked that interaction and the ongoing police presence that I now deal with. I'm really not interested in hearing people criticize my words. You might disrespect me for using such words, and I understand that. I can take your disrespect, but I have every right to say them, and they shouldn't be held against me legally. That's just it. That's just what it is, okay? If you're so thin-skinned that words hurt, then you shouldn't be a cop. Actually, I gotta hand it to the female cop. She did far better. She just laughed at me. That's what we need. We need people fucking, cool enough with themselves to laugh and not get their little egos hurt. She said, I'm going to ask you a few questions. And I said, is that a threat, ma'am? And she laughed at it, okay? Whereas the guy said, don't be a dick. He's got to get all big and bad, impress the girl half his age, right? But here's what happened. I have a cat. I adopted my cat. He was a stray that was just dropped off with his brother. Not outside, maybe outside, but then came in. I don't know. Either way, by my apartment, my condo. And so I adopted him. Another apartment, unfortunately, another condo, adopted his brother, and then didn't like the fact that they used their vocal cords and had him killed. So that sucks. So I've got my cat, whose name is Cat. Love him. He's great. He's a great cat. I swear he's half dog. The only issue is, he's a male cat. He likes to get out and go hunt mice. And so sometimes he does get out. Just so happens that the night before all of this started, he got out and he ended up sitting on my downstairs neighbor's porch for God knows how long. She has a cat, and I have a picture of them just staring at each other, whatever. So she thinks it's the bright idea to try to apprehend my cat, which it's not. Let him be. Let him be. And my cat scratches her. Well, apparently she never learned don't touch animals you don't know. So she called the police, because that's what you do, of course, when you're scratched by an animal. You call the police. Seems fucking logical. So I went out and I said, cat, and he came. He's a good cat. And then we went back inside, and like 3 or 4 hours later, I got a cop knock at my door. And I said, hello? I shouldn't have said anything. That was my mistake. I shouldn't have said jack shit. But I did. And remember the Plymouth Police, blah, 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 open up. I said, do you have a warrant? And they said, we don't need a warrant. And I probably should have challenged them on that, but I didn't. Instead, what I did was I grabbed my phone, opened up the camera, and went out and started recording them. Now, I do have the full thing. I don't think I've uploaded that yet. It's just a lot of me calling them cunts and them being petty and not answering my questions. It's just what it is. I asked numerous times how they know it was my cat that scratched her when she clearly has a cat that is inside her house. How do we know it's not her cat that got excited to see my cat and scratched her? Why am I guilty without any sort of anything? No trial, no nothing. I'm just guilty, according to them. And so, yeah, I think they're tyrant Nazi cunts. And I said as much. And so since then, it has come down upon me so bad. As you see, the guy blocked the fire door in my own building. And so when I went to complain about that, I was told, we're not going to do this. And I said, what is this? Define this. I want to tell you that your guy, and I showed one guy the video, that your guy just locked me in my own home and wouldn't prevent me from leaving. That's illegal. You can't do that. And he put hands on me for fucking following him through my own apartment building. Okay? He can't do that. Yet they won't take a complaint because of previous interactions they've had with me. They can't do that. I don't care if you like me or don't. I don't care if they like me or don't. That's just the way it is. If we don't have the rule of law, we don't have anything. Okay? So if you're not going to, and I'm talking common law, by the way, if they're not going to be held accountable to the same rules, then I'm not going to fucking follow them either, you know? So here's where we are. Since then, I went to the police station to file a report. The guy told me to fuck off in so many words. On my way home, the very cop, Dane, who was called a Nazi tyrant cunt by me and put his hands on me and prevented me from walking through my own place, he's waiting for me on the one road that I can take back to my condo. And as soon as he pulls out, or as soon as I pass him, he pulls out behind me, and I get in front of a car, he gets behind that car, and we're at a stoplight. My car broke down. Whoops. So I get out, try to pop the hood, and he puts on his lights, and he gets out. Never once asked me who I was, so he knew exactly who I was. Thus, it is retaliatory. Okay? And then he says, do you have a license? He knows I don't have one. He knows I don't have one. He was literally waiting for me to retaliate for calling him a tyrant Nazi cunt and getting my hands put on by him. And so, yeah. Then, since then, I've had Plymouth PD parked out by the one exit I have from my subdivision practically the whole time. You know what? You're witnessing the worst thing I do in my day-to-day life. You're witnessing it right now. I'm just a guy who's trying to raise kids. I had some issues in the past which I can't fix anymore. I can't fix it, so I do what I can. You know, some issues you just can't fucking fix, and you got to deal with it. And this is one of them. But I don't deserve to have my words held against me, and then to have my children emotionally tormented because of the fact that I use words. That's fucked up. I have emotion written. Here I come, bitches.